taught me the way of the rodent, got me into top physical condition, and even sent me to vocational school. Alas, I inherited their vast fortune, thus becoming Ratman!
Hey, how's it going, everybody? Matt back again, Matt's Music Mind. This time we're doing a review on Frank Zappa, Hot Rats. Frank Zappa is a man of many talents and various sounds, and his iterations of musical talent really know no bounds here. He's able to construct these worlds of sound through his music and really able to encapture, I think, what it means to be an artist. He's very experimental, and he really tries almost anything to get a perfect sound here. He's able to adapt on the instrumental album and really rely on his own musical performance. Hot Rats is also a technological advancement in his music, as well as it was the first album by him that was recorded with a 16-track recorder. So this gave Frank Zappa a lot more range to his music and to his sound and in his abilities for what he can actually do. But Frank Zappa is of course not alone. He has help from Ian Underwood, who he previously worked with on the Mothers of Invention. Underwood is a great guiding hand on the instrumentation with Zappa, and the two working together really gave this interesting stream of consciousness behind Zappa's music. Then of course Captain Beefheart is here, and Shuggy Otis, Max Bennett, and Paul Humphrey. And there's also the wide range of instruments that they used here, and the wide variety of instruments that they used, that really captures this interesting sound. Frank Zappa's music is very hard to get into, but I would say Hot Rats is a very grand and accessible entrance to his music. The opening of the twisted and really odd introduction with Peaches and Regalia is very grand, and it has this very grand sense behind it, and this overbearing sound of these keys and guitars and percussion especially, and these horns as well. There are a lot of elements here that are easily overlooked because of how detailed and how much depth there is behind the album. And every instrument on earth pretty much participates in Peaches and Regalia. It has these senses of wonder with the really grand sense of scale behind the lists of instruments present. It has the band working like an intricate machine on the rest of Hot Rats as well. The style is then immediately changed on Willie the Pimp, the following track that becomes this very blues homage heavy, and it's also the only track that has vocals here on Hot Rats as well. And I think that's a lot to do with Don Sugarcane Harris, who plays the violin and really gives the backing rhythm on the violin. It forms well and stands out because of this break that Frank Zappa gives in the music, and it's the first track that really takes a step back and allows the listener to kind of catch their breath with each track. Then, as Son of Mr. Green Jeans comes in, it adopts more of a sound that's closer to Peaches and Regalia, but it's heavier with the lead guitars, and it has this quicker sense of capturing the listener with this abrasiveness, and really going back through the horns and the percussion to capture the listener and instead keep them inside. And Hot Rats is really this expressive piece that kind of stamps through this sense of Frank Zappa's mind, and I think it covers all these really intricate rhythms and decisions that he makes as an artist to capture the sound. Hot Rats is almost mimicking Zappa in the way that he is as an artist, and really capturing what it means to, I think, write a killer album, allowing him to really express himself on his own musical merit rather than his storytelling abilities through vocals. I think that Hot Rats at least stands out for that in being different, but also showing just how talented he is as a musician as well. Zappa adapts and captures this immense feeling through his music, and he also creates this whirlwind of sound with all the different instruments that he uses. And the production here on Hot Rats really could never be better. It stands out so well for being so diverse and being so heavily weighted that Frank Zappa almost outdoes himself on the instrumentation here. And while he doesn't play every instrument, Frank Zappa does use Ian Underwood and several other musicians that really capture the very intricate stylings of his band. And it is strange and wild, but it finds that middle ground between the really odd and vibrant, but also the incredibly immaculate as well. Thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it. And Frank Zappa, Matt's Music Mind, Hot Rats.